Okay, so today is the day I'm going to give you my thoughts on probably the most controversial book of the High Republic, and that is A Test of Courage. So, fun fact for you on this book, this is the only High Republic book to this point that's got its own teaser trailer, which is out on the Star Wars YouTube page. I'll link it down below. But it does give us a little bit of a synopsis of the story. So we see our main Jedi Venestra, and it gives you a little bit of a preview of what to expect. It's about a minute long, so if you're interested, you can go check that out below. And this is the last piece of High Republic content that's been released that I'm going to review for the channel. So I've covered every book and comic that we've had so far, with more coming out in February. Now, this one's garnered the most amount of controversy, and I think that's to do with the author, Justina Ireland. She's been very vocal on Twitter with some opinions that I personally don't support in all aspects. Some of them specifically come to mind, and I'm going to link those in an article down below. You can check those out. You guys have seen me make videos on this channel responding to what I consider outlandish claims. Folks who are talking about conspiracies where Brie Larson, this High Republic is all about Brie Larson. Videos about how this is all a big ploy. It's all a big fight between Kathleen Kennedy and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. This is the fight for the Lucasfilm future. I'm going to call those ones out. Videos that want to talk about this and their opinions on her tweets, I got nothing to say to those. Individuals can have whatever opinion they want on those tweets, and they're entitled to them. So I'm not going to argue with folks on that. What she said is right there. You make the opinion, you decide. What I want to do today, though, is separate the art from the artist and objectively look at this book and just tell you what I think. Now, this book, to me, was my least, I think, enjoyed piece of the High Republic content. Now, that's not saying a lot, because there's really only what I'll call 3.5. So if you don't know, we have a Marvel issue, the first issue in the High Republic comic that released. We have A Test of Courage, I'm talking about right now. We have the best piece of content, and I recommend this to basically everyone, which is Light of the Jedi. I think this is definitely worth the read. And then you have a young child book. It's literally a picture book called The Great Jedi Rescue, which is part 1 of Light of the Jedi, with all the pictures and stickers for younger kids. I think this is really fun if maybe you have younger kids, or you have someone you want to read the book with, or you want to put names to faces. I put a video down below that has some of the pictures, and I posted them to Reddit as well. But the reason this one is my least favorite, I think, is it has a major problem to me. You see, I really think for the young adult audience it's targeting, they're not going to understand a lot of what's happening unless they read Light of the Jedi. Light of the Jedi is aimed at an older audience, and I'm not sure the types of folks who are capable of enjoying this are also at a level of reading where they're going to fully understand Light of the Jedi. So I think you have a weird situation here, where the folks who are probably going to be most interested in this will be folks like me, but this is written for a younger audience. So there's this tension in the story. What I really do appreciate, though, and I will give credit to this book, is it is not afraid to address mature themes. It deals with loss, it deals with suffering and emotion, and I give them a lot of credit. They didn't dumb down any of that. And there is some really unique things here for Star Wars fans that I think get us excited. The big advantage of this as well is it's a short read. So I think on Audible it's 4 hours long, so it doesn't take you too long to get into it. And if you just want to keep expanding the universe, it's definitely worth the pickup. What I love about the High Republic so far in this month, I have a comic, I have a book, I have a picture book, I have a young adult novel, and I feel like the universe has grown so much. I feel like I know these characters, I know the setting, I feel like I'm already part of this world. So for me, it's a holistic view. The High Republic has been really successful at getting me involved in the world, in the community, and the characters. The Audible does a great job too. They carry over certain themes from one book to another. So the Audible has a very similar feel, even though it's a different narrator. They do similar sounds and similar chapter breaks. So I just feel really immersed in this world right now. So to that, I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to say spoilers here. So if you don't want any spoilers, you're going to buy it yourself, click away now. Okay? But there were a couple things that this book did I thought were really unique for Star Wars that I don't know how other fans feel about them, but I thought they were at least interesting. There's light whips in this book. So Vernestra is our prodigy. She is our young Jedi who's become a knight at 16. She's a beast. She's just, kind of a protege. She's ready to go, and she's very, very gifted. And apparently the Force literally gives her plans to convert her lightsaber to a light whip, which is super cool. I'm not sure fans would love that, but I think it's very cool. And it actually leads to 2 references in this book, 2 of the Night Sisters. So dark side users who don't go fully Sith, are not fully evil. They've been mentioned in other pieces of canon. That was unique. And they also mentioned the Guardians of Yavin, which I did research on this because I wasn't familiar with them right away. They've never been referenced before, but these are apparently folks who also use the dark side. And I'm very curious if we're going to see them in other literature. So there's cool things like that. And what else is important? If you're like me and you want to consume all of the High Republic content, obviously this is one of the High Republic content, so you're going to assume, consume it. But there's a book coming out in June or July, I believe, which is another young adult canon novel, which is Out of the Shadows. And as you can see here, we have Vernestra and we have Aven. So we have 2 of the characters from A Test of Courage who are going to be appearing in this book. So you're probably going to want to have read this first to fully understand the rest of the novels. So is this required reading? If you're a super fan like me, who's going to read all the High Republic, yeah, obviously it's required. If you're more of a casual fan who chooses their canon based on their time, the only thing that's required reading, in my opinion, is Light of the Jedi. I think it's really fun. I think it hits all the things I wanted from this. It has a sense of exploration. It has the feeling of something new, right? It has that Star Trek Green Lantern vibe to me as well. There's just something really unique about it that I think will grab you in. So, as far as A Test of Courage, I'm not sure you need to pick it up unless you're extremely invested in this. If so, yeah, it does a lot in Expand the Universe. Again, I'm totally immersed in this right now. I keep hearing these characters, more references of how this great disaster is striking different parts of the galaxy, how the Nihil are operating, right? How everyone else is responding to this. So for me, yeah, I love that it keeps me in this world. And I think, honestly, regardless of what you think about her personal opinions at her tweets, because I'm sure a lot of you will not agree or support her, I felt like the book did a pretty good job of not bringing any of that into the story itself. So I guess, if you didn't know about her tweets before this video, you probably wouldn't know in her book that she had these sorts of views. So I give that her credit. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think below. We are now caught up with the High Republic, but we have more canon coming up. So we have more High Republic coming next month, including the 2nd issue of the Marvel comic and another book coming out the first week of February. Then we have, after that, some of the conclusions to the Alphabet Squadron. We have the Thrawn coming out in spring, the 2nd book in the Thrawn Ascendancy series. So a lot to look forward to as far as more canon and more books coming out. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for the support. Make sure you like and subscribe. And again, I want to make this totally clear if you've watched this far along. Anything I say about the High Republic, you don't have to agree with. You don't have to like it. You can ignore this content if you're not comfortable with the kind of things she says. And that's your right. I don't want to make you, go against your personal beliefs in that way. So just making that clear for you guys. Thanks for supporting. I will be back soon with some more videos launching this week. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later.